Hey guys, so I wanted to pop on and take a second to go over some of the time nutrition stuff because it can be really confusing, especially when you're first getting started and you're trying to wrap your mind around it. One thing that I did, there are some tracker sheets on Beachbody On Demand under 80 Day Obsession, so that's one thing that you can go on and try to print those out to help you get organized. I highly suggest either using those or just using a straight up pen and paper. That'll get you going, and then it'll get you organized, and then you're going to be super successful. I just wrote down like the meals, 1, 2, 3 meals, my pre-workout meal, post-workout meal, and I drew little boxes with the colors in them, and I just crossed them off as I ate them. That way you can keep track and you can stay on track. So I'm going to flip the camera over so you can see the meal plan on the computer. Maddie's over there playing by the window. Okay, so this is I am on meal plan B. So just to take a second to talk about this, because a lot of people ask about it. You know, when I did my first calculation, I was borderline for the calories. You know, I was right between or I was just barely into B. And, you know, I was like, okay, well, I really want to lose weight and I want to get this going. So I went with plan A. If you do that, you are going to quickly learn that where you need to be. You know, we always say trust the process. They didn't just come up with this plan just throwing numbers around. It is like developed, and they came up with it as the process. So I went down to plan A, and about 2 weeks into it, I was very tired, was having a hard time getting through my workouts, and I decided to go up to plan B, and it made a huge difference, and that's where I've been since. Like we talked about in the first video, you will recalculate your meal plan after every phase. So you should have gotten your containers in the mail. Pretty self-explanatory here on what is what. If you didn't see, the container food list is also under the program materials tab. I reference back to this all the time because the 80 Day Obsession container food list is not the same as the 21 day fix. So if you ever did the fix before and you're kind of referencing back to that in your head, it is very similar, but it's not exactly the same. So keep that. I have them pulled up in my browser on my phone all the time. So here's going to tell you how many containers you get per day, which is important, obviously, but it's less important than the sequence. So the whole principle behind the time nutrition plan is to space out your meals and absorb macros throughout the day, so that your body can use them as fuel, use them to as energy and for muscle growth. So basically your whole day is going to be based on around your workout. So that's going to really depend on what you're going to do. So I work out at the same time every day. Every work day is the same time, and every home day is the same time. So this would be my typical meal plan right here. So if I was planning to work out, you need to plan when you're going to eat your pre-workout meal before you work out. You'll eat your post-workout meal after you work out, and then you have these 3 other meals to spread out throughout the day. So depending on when you're working out, you can kind of try to figure that out. So my typical day is I wake up for breakfast. I have my pre-workout meal. I work out, and that's about 8 o'clock in the morning. I work out around nap time, which is about 10 a.m. I have my recover and my berries right afterwards. And then about a half hour after that, I have my post-workout meal. So that's probably thinking like around noon. And then I space these meals out throughout the rest of the day. I usually have my Shakeology as this purple and red. Add frozen berries or frozen banana into my Shakeology, and I usually have that around 2 or 3 p.m. And then this blue, green, and purple, I have that around 5, and then I eat dinner with my family at about 7:30, and then I'm done for the night. So you just kind of got to work it, you know, see how it works for you. If this looks confusing because there's so many extra slots, like if you're not using the Beachbody Performance, there's a page. If you scroll down, what page are we on here? I'm not making you dizzy by doing this. Here, Time Nutrition without Beachbody Performance. So this is just cut and dry. You're not using the Energize, you're not using the Recover. This is way easier for your eyes to comprehend if you're not using the Beachbody Performance. So just, you can scroll onto that page and use that if needed. So going back up, there's an example of a meal plan here, different things that you could eat. As you go through the program, you'll get better at pairing things. The afternoon one was always hard for me, this green and purple and blue, because like it's just like all separate things. Like, yes, you could eat hummus with some vegetables to dip in it, fine. But like, I get sick of hummus pretty quick. So sometimes I have almonds, sometimes I put cheese over some cucumbers and cherry tomatoes, and then just have like a side of fruit. But you get better as the time goes on. There's also the rest day meal plan, because obviously on your rest day you're not going to be eating based on your workout block. So you're just going to take these 5 meals and spread them out throughout the day every 2 to 3 hours and do that. And don't worry about the workout block, obviously, because you won't be working out. You guys, rest day, super important for this program. Your body is working really hard 6 days a week. You want to take this day to not do a vigorous workout. You'll see in the first phase, she goes through a couple different options for rest day. There's a roll and release that focus on foam rolling, and then there's a stretch and release that's more of stretching. You can do yoga, whatever you need to do to take care of your body and make sure you're ready to start again on Monday. So we'll talk about refeed day once we get a little bit closer to that. It's a glorious thing, and it will let you have some pretzels and some pancakes if you're into it. And then the deplete week is at the end of the program. That's when we cut out carbs and get super shredded at the end. There's this meal plan or two in the meal plan that you can use if you needed. It has a plan for a regular day, a refeed day, and a deplete day. So if you wanted to print out a couple of those and just kind of cut out the regular day, you could do that as well. There's a bunch of examples in here that you can look through. I would say the biggest thing for me with this program is meal prepping. Nobody likes it, nobody wants to do it, but it is worth it. I don't specifically set aside extra time as a mom and a nurse. I mean, like women are so good at multitasking. It's like a thing for us. Men, it's not the same way. No offense, any guys that may watch this. So I end up usually, when I'm making dinner for the kids and me and my husband, I usually just make extra. Like if I'm gonna make him put chicken on the grill, I'll put 2 or 3 extra breasts on there, and that'll get me through multiple days of for meal prep. I will throw a bunch of vegetables on the stove. Yes, Maverick. I love your zoo, honey. Yeah, I love those too. Cool. So anyways, I just make extra. Sometimes I'll throw just a bunch of chicken in the crock pot at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon if I'm thinking of it while I'm doing other things, and then I'll shred it later when it's done and just be done with it. So I don't specifically set aside special time, but you can. Whatever, you gotta find what works for you and do that. That's gonna be the most important to success. So the meal prepping, make sure you have enough containers. I know this sounds silly and obvious, but if you don't have Tupperware or Pyrex, get some. You want to have enough things to put your stuff in. You don't want to be like scrounging around, putting stuff in random little baggies or whatever. Get enough containers to store your stuff in your fridge, and just be prepared. I personally go to Costco for a lot of my vegetables because you get a lot, and a lot of them are organic too for a really good price. You want to have as much options as you can possibly, even if they're all raw and you didn't prep anything. If you have some raw cucumbers or some raw bell peppers in the fridge and you need a vegetable, I mean, it's right there. Like, you don't want to be like scrounging every other day, because you do eat 4 or 5 servings of vegetables a day, so you're gonna need a lot of stuff. So just plan for that. Same with the fruits. Work your Shakeology into your day. It's an easy meal. It's going to make you feel better when you drink it. A short snippet about that is My skin has been amazing since I've been on this program because my diet is so clean. I've been drinking Shakeology every day. But today I got my first pimple. It's disgusting. Um, because of hormones, obviously. But like, I am so excited for you all to feel the benefits of Shakeology because it really is amazing. Um, I think that's it. But if you guys have any questions, just text me, message me, email me, whatever avenue it is, do it. I am here for you. I want you to be successful. I want you to love this program as much as I love it, which is a lot. It's changed my life. Um, I had plateaued. I know I've talked to some of you about this. I was plateauing, and I mean, I've never been this in shape in my life, and I've had 2 kids lately. So it is amazing, and I'm so excited for you. We'll talk soon.